Conference, it's always good to be back here in Brighton again. I've had the privilege of attending conference many times and over many years. Well over a decade ago, at the start of the 2000s, I sat in the audience here in Brighton, listening to Rhodri Morgan speak from a text that I had helped to write. He described a Labour Wales where we had already abolished prescription charges, introduced free breakfasts for primary school children, taken hospital and catering services back into the National Health Service. A man sitting next to me turned to his neighbour and said, "For a minute there, I woke up and thought I was at a Labour Party conference." Chair, it's become something of a tradition for Welsh First Ministers, for Rhodri Morgan and for Carwyn Jones to come to conference to show just what Labour can do when we are in government. In Wales, we are protecting people's lifetime savings and helping shoulder the burden of paying for care. In Wales, we are standing up for our steel industry in the face of a Tory government which simply could not care less. And in Wales, we work in partnership with our trade unions to protect workers' rights. And in this Assembly term, we will put a Social Partnership Act on the statute book in Wales. Now, I could speak all morning about the difference a Labour government has and continues to make every day in Wales, and how we are making a reality of 21st century socialism. But today, I want to explain why a Labour government in Wales can only do the things we want to do, can only make the difference to people's lives that we want to make, if we also have a Labour government in Westminster. Because, Conference, for the last 10 long years, we have faced a struggle to invest in public services, to reward hard-working employees, and to protect the most vulnerable from the cruelest cuts handed down by Tory governments obsessed by austerity and by balancing the books on the backs of the poorest in the land. That will only be put right when John McDonnell is Chancellor and we have a Labour government in power. A Labour government committed across the United Kingdom, as we are committed in Wales, to social justice and the pursuit of a more equal society. And in Wales, we are determined to play our part in responding to those defining challenges of our time, the defining challenge of climate change. We know that in Wales we have all the raw materials to make the second industrial revolution. We have wind, we have water, and we have waves. But our efforts to create energy from the sea are frustrated all the time by this Conservative government blindly wedded to the market, unwilling to invest, to create new opportunities in which the jobs of the future and the future of our planet go hand in hand together. Now, it was terrific to hear Jeremy say in Swansea only a few weeks ago that the next Labour government will build the Swansea Bay Tidal Lagoon. A lagoon that will send a message across the whole of the United Kingdom and indeed across the world. That's Labour governments working with a Labour Council to keep Wales at the forefront of the renewable energy revolution and to help us to tackle climate change head-on. Now, Conference, I turn to Brexit with something of a heavy heart. 3 years on, and we are no closer to resolving what we were promised would be the easiest negotiation ever. Now, Conference, ever since the referendum, the Welsh Labour government has called on the UK government to do the right thing, to recognise the national crisis we are so clearly in, and to do the hard work of putting our country back together again, to work across parties and to find a way forward to protect jobs and our economy, to heal the wounds of division which are splitting this country apart. Now, Theresa May's priority was keeping her party together. Boris Johnson wants to destroy that party and recreate it in the image of Nigel Farage. Not a government, not even a party, but a single-issue sect. They've shut down Parliament, and they've told the highest court in the land that they would do it again if they don't get their own way. For Wales, this is catastrophic. The Welsh economy could be 10% smaller as the result of a no-deal Brexit compared to staying in the European Union. A crash-out exit could cost up to 50,000 jobs in Wales alone. It would decimate our manufacturing sector in just the same way that Thatcher decimated our coal and steel industries. Wales didn't vote for that. Wales didn't vote to become poorer. And faced with the deep and lasting damage this Tory Brexit will do to our country, we say it's time to go back to the people in a second referendum where Remain will be on that ballot paper. And Conference, I can tell you now that my Welsh Labour government will continue to stand up for Wales by campaigning wholeheartedly, vigorously and unapologetically for Wales to remain in the European Union. And Conference, we do that because we know that that is the right answer for working people right across Wales. Brexit has torn at the very fabric of the things that we cherish, and that includes the United Kingdom itself. Those pursuing Brexit have used and misused this union for their own narrow and ideological ends, to drive us away from the partnerships we have developed with our European friends for over 40 years. Now, we should be under no doubt that the voluntary union of 4 sovereign nations here in the United Kingdom is under threat in a way that it has not been during my political lifetime if we do not act. Our nation and our country is at risk of splintering, replacing one narrow nationalism with another. To survive, it has to be Labour, it can only be Labour, that articulates a different vision for those repelled by the poisonous politics of division and of despair. Our task under a new Labour government must be to build a new United Kingdom, one that genuinely works for all of its 4 constituent parts, a new political, constitutional and economic settlement for this United Kingdom, founded on our values, our 21st century values of solidarity, equality and respect. And if that's what we want to see for our country, then we should want to see it in our party too. As First Minister and leader of Welsh Labour, I want to work with you and with others across the United Kingdom in that task. Our job is to build those common bonds between us wherever we may be, through fundamental reform of our United Kingdom, and by remaining as proud and positive members of the European Union. We can offer up to communities throughout the United Kingdom an alternative to the narrow nationalism and worn-out imperialism bleeding across our politics. We have bitter and painful experiences in Wales of the vandalism wrought by successive and careless Tory governments of the past and of today as well. We have been at the sharp edge of their economic and social destruction and dislocation. Brexit risks moving the ground underneath us even further away if we cannot offer up a vision of something better, a progressive and social democratic response to the easy answers of nationalism and populism across the world. Now, let us instead ensure that there is a UK Labour government in Westminster working with the Welsh Labour government in Cardiff to build a brighter, fairer future for every one of us, wherever we may be. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much indeed.